was so wrinkly. Should have ironed. Anyway. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name's StepsBasic, and welcome back to my community show. Okay, so this one's going to be a bit of a strange one, and I know if you read the title, you're going to be like, why? StepsBasic believes in them conspiracy theories? I'm like, no, not really. But this one comes from a little bit. I blame the fact that I like to write and create stories. I blame all that on this. Specifically, I created a number of weird conspiracy theories in my head and whatnot. And I always thought it was kind of, like I said, I don't believe them, but it was kind of a fun little thing to do every now and again. And I wanted to talk about a few of them. Now, there were a couple of like just really quick one-off conspiracy theories that I was just like, yeah, the government putting nanomachines in our school lunches and yellow shock tarts and stuff. And this was sort of a way to explain like why I never ate yellow shock tarts. And I'd eat all the other shock tarts, but I'd put all the yellow shock tarts away, and then they'd be like, oh, why don't you eat the yellow ones? I'm like, because the government put nanomachines in there, and they swim through your bloodstream, and they attach to the base of your skull, and they take control of your mind. And that was one of the things that I always thought was kind of funny. I would just come up with this nonsense stupidness, and the real answer of why I never ate the yellow shock tarts was because I just didn't like the taste of them. And I also did it with the fruit punch, which was kind of funny because fruit punch was at one point my favorite fruit punch, my favorite drink that they would give us at school, because we get the choice between chocolate milk, white milk, and these little fruit punch pack boxes. But then I got a bad one once, and it put me off them forever. And I was like, I don't want to drink these anymore because that one was, oh God. And so they also became an extension of the fruit punch, or the nanomachine conspiracy theory. Oh my God. So I'm recording, right? And I'm sitting here thinking, while I'm recording, it's like all of my evil conspiracy theories always tied back to turtles. And I had an abbreviation for them. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like TTT, something terrifying turtles. And I just remembered that they were the ones who put the nanomachines in the shock tarts and the fruit punch. And then at one point, I developed a taste for the yellow shock tarts. And I remembered, and of course, it was one of those situations where like nobody asked. And then I was like, yes. So because I like them now, I have to explain why I can eat them again. And so it's like there was a rebel group against the turtles, which was the freaking fabulous ferrets, the Triple F group, and they were putting anti-nanomachines in the red shock tarts. So if you ate a yellow shock tart, you could eat you'd have to eat a red one, or vice versa. You'd have to eat them in a row. And I completely forgot about that while I was editing, though. It came back to me. I'm like, oh yeah, the freaking fabulous ferrets. I forgot about them. They're adorable. But anyway, back to the video. All the government nanomachines were also in fruit punch, so don't drink that. It's nasty. And I thought that was kind of fun to do. It was the sort of thing that we would do, that I could do with my brain every now and again. And then one time when we're sitting in history class, me and a couple of my friends, I actually remember exactly who it was, but I don't know. I don't feel comfortable saying their names on the internet here, especially since one of them got really mad at the group. At my friend group, when we wanted to share this beautiful creation we made for high school drama club. She got very mad and was like, never share that. Me. I'm like, you are evil. Let us share it. But anyway, we're sitting in world history class. We've already finished all our work because we're the nerds of the class, and that's how we roll. And so we're sitting in the back of the room, trying not to be distracting to everybody else, and we start coming up with this idea of a religion that has been suppressed in the world, right? And it spawned from originally developing like different creatures, and we started talking about like weird cryptids, sort of, but in this case it was like a Molonki, Lonkey, which was the beautiful combination of a mole and a donkey. And they and the early humans had formed a religion worshiping the Malarkey, which was called Malarkey. And it was funny because we're just sitting in the back of the room, just tossing this inflatable globe back and forth between each other, and just talking about how this religion formed around a Malarkey. And how there was a hidden island just off the coast of South Africa that was shaped like an M, and we never saw it on any maps because anytime anyone flew over it was just covered in clouds, so nobody ever saw it, but it existed. It was shaped like a big M out in the middle of the water there, and it was roughly about half the size of Australia, which was kind of funny. Obviously doesn't exist, but it was a fun thing to do back then. And those were a couple of the weird conspiracies that me and my friends came up with, and then I came up with, but now, the meat and the potatoes of it all. I have mentioned before that I have a phobia of turtles, and I don't like it, and I hate it, and I think it's probably the stupidest phobia I've ever heard of. But I literally can't with turtles, and it's bad, because I forced myself to engage with turtles before just to, well, in one case, save a turtle's life, because it was, walking across the middle of the road, and it was very slow and, stuck. And I'm like, okay, I have to help this thing. I have to help this critter. And so it was really funny watching me run out there and just, I can do this. I can do this. And then I grabbed it, and I'm like holding it by like this. I'm like, God. And I got it to the other side, but I actually accidentally dropped it at one point. And but it wasn't hurt, luckily. I would have hated myself for that, but I dropped it and I had to flip it over and put it back on the curb, and I'm like, phobias ain't no joke, bro. Oh, wow, that's neat. I'll be right back. Anyway, I'm back. Anyway, phobias ain't no joke, bro. Phobias suck, and having a phobia is just it's very debilitating, and if you've never experienced what a phobia is like, I can explain it to you very simply. When I came back to visit my mom after boot camp, she had a pet turtle, and I never knew I had a phobia of turtles. Up until this point, my entire life, I never knew I had a phobia of turtles. And she's showing me all of her new pets, and my mom loves pets and animals and all that stuff. It's where I get it from. And she's like, oh, look, and I got a new turtle. And I'm like, cool. And I hold out my hand, and she puts the turtle in my hand. And I'm just staring at it, and I just feel the overwhelming sense of fear. And I'm paralyzed, basically, holding this thing in my hand. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with me? It's just a turtle. Now, to be honest, I often joke that, anytime I see a turtle, I'm like, ew, gross, ew, fear. But honestly, unless it's an actual turtle, it doesn't bother me. So I can look at a picture of a turtle. I can see, like, animated turtles, CG turtles, etc. I get the chills sometimes, but for the most part, unless it's a real turtle, it doesn't bother me too much. Which is probably why I never had that issue before, because, growing up in southern Arizona, I didn't see a whole lot of turtles. But, anyway, on to the conspiracy theory. Now, the meat and potatoes of this, the big conspiracy theory, the overarching conspiracy theory is that I have determined that the turtles are the world's worst terrorists ever. But not worst as in bad at their job, but worst as in most effective. Know what I mean? Like, talk about suicide bombers. They don't have suicide bombers because they survive. They strap bombs to their chest, they pull everything in, and then they walk away like nothing happened because their shells protected them. Oh yeah, and snipers. We all know that snipers need patience, but who's more patient than a turtle? And you know what? They'll sit out there and wait for you for hours on end, just sitting there with their sniper and their sniper rifle, and then of course nobody suspects a little turtle. No, this turtle's gonna just walk away slowly from the rifle, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my God, who did this? It was a turtle, obviously." But no, turtles, man. Turtles don't do anything. And you know the biggest threat to the United States Navy? Sea turtles. They're the worst. And you know what? I used to joke about this, but it was actually kind of weird that every time something went wrong on my ship, I'd be out on the upper decks and looking out, and I'd see a turtle swim away from the ship. And I used to joke, "Yep, the turtle got us." And that literally happened. Like every time something went wrong, I'd see a sea turtle. But obviously, the sea turtle didn't do it. Obviously, I don't need to explain that to you. The sea turtle did not sabotage my Navy vessel, but the sea turtles, they're out there. They'll get a hold of your ship and they'll break things, and then they'll just swim away, and nobody will suspect the sea turtles, because the sea turtles are just little turtles, right? They don't do anything dangerous or evil. No, they're just turtles. But that's what they want you to think. Don't trust the turtles. They're evil. They're coming for you. But yeah. Have y'all done this before? Have y'all created a weird conspiracy theory in your head or written it down somewhere? Just kind of a thing? Let me know in the comments section down below, because I love the idea of silly conspiracy theories. I hate the idea of like serious conspiracy theories, although to be honest, I do like to listen to conspiracy theories, even though I don't believe like basically any of them. Now there are some that are a little easier to believe, like the media is perpetuating the idea of hatred in the United States simply based on the fact that they want to earn money. I can easily believe that because people are greedy. But anyway, what sort of conspiracy theories have you created? Or are there some really silly ones that you've heard and just want to let me know? Put those down in the comment section down below. But sorry, shorter video today because I got a lot going on. Yeah, on to announcements. We have 2 DLC remaining, Bounty of Blood and the other one I can't remember the name of. But we got 2 DLC remaining in Borderlands 3, and then we're going to be done. And I've been working diligently in the background on other things, including trying to move over to more short content on my other channel, so that I can have short content similar to my TikTok, where I have like a short a day, although maybe not a day every day. But you know, I've been working on that. I still have the Joffrey versus Demon Souls going. I haven't recorded another video yet, but I have been planning things, which is also important, although I hate myself for not having recorded anything. Unfortunately, the last week has been incredibly busy and I hated it so much. I just want, like, my days back, please. But anyway, announcements over, topic over. That's going to be it for me for today. Thank y'all so much for joining me for this episode of my community show. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you did, please poke that like button for me. If you'd like to see more from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And of course, as always, you're more than welcome to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. When I can, if I can, you know all that jazz. And tune in next time for another topic and another time. And until then, good night.